Hello and welcome to Nerdy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerd Steve. Tonight I'm joined by all these fine nerds. We're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons with our Dungeons and Delving game run by none other than Nerd Archist Ted here, but also we have some friends with us, Carlos Rivera, Robin Miller, and Bobby Partridge are all in the house with links in the description so you can go find them across the interwebs. With that, let me throw it to our GM.
So, Dungeons and Delving is a game set in the far-flung future where typically our adventurers, join up into teams and compete on a reality game show to win glory, fame, and prizes. With this particular season, our illustrious adventurers find themselves trapped in some unknown place. They have some speculations as to what that might possibly be. But who knows how long it's going to take for them to get out and deal with the problems that are constantly around them. So, without further ado, I didn't grab my D4. All right, so I'm going to throw it to Bobby to go ahead and introduce yourself, your character, and what you remember from last episode.
God
Take it
damn it,
away.
Ted. That is the worst person to start with. There'll be nothing for the rest of us to say.
Well, Bobby is a wonderful person, and I am certain that he will share enough stuff to give you all something else to say. I got to do what the dice say. Sorry.
Hi everybody, I'm Bobby Partridge. I do internet things, and I am currently playing Burke and Hefty. Burke is a Beastmaster Ranger. Hefty is his Ganshuan companion. So Ganshuans are in the fantastical mounts thing. And Ted was nice enough to let me adjust things flavor wise because I just love these little guys. Or big guys.
Little guys.
He's little for a Ganshuan. He's
A baby.
the size of a bear. Um, but we actually were split up at the start of last session because we had Enzo that went one direction with Nebula, and they went the right direction. And then Arnold was like, I'm going this other way. And Burke was like, no man left behind. And so he ended up going after him as well. And then they ended up encountering the stunt doubles for Enzo and Nebula. And they went through The Slice is Right, which was like a game show that was like much less fun than it sounds. I'm not going to steal everything because I usually steal everything. So let's toss it to Dave.
Hey, folks, I am going to be playing Enzo Bonjour, and he is a world famous chef, at least in mind, at which he is working towards. He was not actually trying to be on a Dungeons and Delving, he was trying to be on a cooking show. He's a human battle master fighter with the chef feat, and everything is flavored chef wise. Yes, I got to play my stunt double last time. Although I was a little disappointed because I feel like Hefty should have had a stunt double too, which would have been freaking hilarious. Like a dog in a bad costume or something. Would have been perfect. I also got to cook a fabulous meal from a monster we killed previous session for the folks of Outcast or Castaway.
Cast
Uh,
off.
Cast off. It's one of those things. There's words, you put them together, you get where we are. And the performance was really good. The meal was a little subpar. I didn't have the right herbs and spices. What are you gonna do? With that, let me throw it to Robin.
Um, Nebula's stunt double was a twink in a wig, and that is something that has not been stated yet. Who hasn't gone? Carlos, take it, please.
Oh, thank you so much for leaving something for me, because I don't know. What is good, internet? My name is Carlos Rivera. I do run the Campaign YouTube channel, or what's left of it. I am playing Arnold Shortman, kind of redid version from a previous Zoo Mafia game. I decided, screw it, he's an alien, actually. I am 8 levels in Fighter, Gunslinger, 3 levels in Artificer, 100% Hippo, no, GIF, excuse me. And in the last session, Arnold stuck to his guns, again, no pun intended, and said, screw it, you know what, I made a decision, and the great gift in the sky wants to see me through. He shall, okay? Like, it will happen. And I was very, very, very surprised to see this form splitting the party and not split the party. You guys haven't heard. Ted basically said, "Damn, that's crazy. Stunt doubles, please show up." And we essentially got reunited. Great technique, Ted. Eventually, we make our way out, and we are trying to grab some respite. And with that, I would like to pass it back to Ted.
So we ended with all of you kind of settling in, ending your second full day within Cast Off. It is a scenario that, getting used to this new way of life. You have a domicile that is, while not exactly spacious, it's comfortable enough for the four of you, much less luxurious than the home that you shared within the studio while you were competing. But we ended with the thought of you guys are going to have some time to settle in and figure out what is going to be your role here. What kind of things do you want to do to adjust or improve your the way of life? Now, obviously Arnold is not new to Cast Off. He's been here for quite some time. So I'm going to start off with you. You had said that you were looking to make some more moonshine to restore your own supplies, as well as produce some for the town. And while imbibing is okay, there are limits when you have to deal with such a dangerous place as what you are. So how much are you trying to make, and how are you going about doing it?
I guess what makes sense, I guess the real question is like, how much supply do we have to even attempt such a thing? I mean, there have been days where Arnold has been like, "Oh, I guess I'm going sober for a while," and tell you guys, look, we're not drinking tonight. So I guess if the supplies allow, I would, pull up my brewer's kit. I'm like, and I start, assembling it to kind of get I'm going.
So are you looking to do everything yourself, or are you looking to see if, well, like if you want to do it all yourself and have it be a surprise, or do you want to enlist, some other townsfolk to, aid in that which will be available for all?
Well, knowing Enzo's a cook, though this may not be cooking per se, it's definitely something I would like to involve him in if he's not doing anything himself.
All right. Well, I was looking, more in the direction of, figuring out what kind of supplies you had. And Enzo probably wouldn't be the best unless you were looking to abscond with some of his, cooking ingredients, which he might not look favorably upon.
Econ moonshine.
One
Why
of
not?
Enzo's hobbies is microbrewing.
I mean,
So is Enzo willing to part with any of the scant supplies that you've gathered so far? Or, would one or the two of you be interested in, seeing what might be forageable to
Well,
begin such a process?
I was gonna go foraging anyway because I'm looking for herbs and anything spices add to my cooking. So, going out and seeing if we can't find some things to ferment as well may not be so bad.
yeah, I mean, number one
All
rule
right.
of cast off: don't go out alone. So
That is indeed a wise rule. All right, so I'm gonna have two checks, and they both can fall under either nature or survival. I will take either, and if you both happen to be proficient in whatever you're rolling, one person can roll with advantage, or you both can roll as you see fit.
I am not proficient with either.
I have
How much?
survival.
I'll give you advantage.
All right.
Though I am not trained in survival, I've been here long enough to be like, hey, I think this way might be safest.
Okay, I'll take it.
That is a 13.
That is a 13. All right. So were you looking for herbs and spices first, or were you looking for stuff to make alcohol first?
I think I was probably looking for my herbs and spices with keeping an eye out for things to make booze from. You know, any kind of like any kind of fruits really. I guess we can make some veggie wine or something. Anything that's fermentable, right? We can make
Yeah.
booze out of.
Sure.
I had
So
chocolate mousse before,
you
but
have
you can make booze out
found
of anything.
some odd fruits, but it is not an abundant supply. You've traveled a little ways from town. You know that the further away from town you get, the more chances of something going on to happen. Do you wish to keep looking? Do you wish to sample the fruit that you found, or do you want to just take it and be like, all right, let's move on?
Well, a good chef always does sample his stuff, but I know that Burke is a farmer and comes from farmer
Hmm.
stock and also a ranger. So I trust
Hmm.
his own expertise over mine. So I'm gonna have him look over anything we forage before imbibing it.
Okay. So you harvest what you can and then move on, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we should press our luck. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so too.
All right.
I
So
really want to impress you, so
looking for more more fruit, or more, or are you moving on to spices?
We'll move on to spices since we found some fruit stuff.
Okay. So go ahead and give me another survival roll with advantage.
This is much better. 30-20.
30-20. So you're not sure what it is about this particular area that you have moved away from, but there seems to uh almost be like a forgotten garden now, and you kind of moved around, like kind of allowing your senses to kind of guide you. um and you find a decent and quality stock of stuff that you could get here. And if you pay attention on your way back, you can either find your way back here, or with a nature check, you could kind of pull up some of the stuff and be able to transplant it back into the garden within Cast Off.
Ooh,
I think we should take what we can grab and head on out. Hell, I count as a large creature when it comes to carrying things. I can carry a lot of shit.
yeah, but transplanting things is not my specialty. All right.
Well, I mean,
Take the whole
if you
room.
pay attention, i.e., no roll required, you can make your way back here. So if you wanted, you could have somebody, kind of come back, maybe with a cart, maybe somebody that is a bit more knowledgeable, and would be able to, assist, especially if it's not just something that you're doing for yourself, but to improve the cooking for everybody.
Yeah, I think we should have Burke come get the stuff so we don't damage it.
Sounds good to me.
So easiest thing to do would be to leave some kind of trail marker behind.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll just cut arrows in a tree or something on our way.
okay. So you are able to easily make it back to town unscathed from any of the issues that are out there. You were keeping your eyes out, and you did see some things moving in the distance, but nothing ever approached you. Nothing ever got to the point where you had to be weary. But you've come back. You've each acquired some things to improve the station here.
Stuff.
Let's move over to the aforementioned Burke and Hefty.
Yeah.
So, what is it that Burke is looking to do here?
So after talking to Nebula, Burke decided that he wants to go and look for some sort of plant-based material that can be used as an insulator uh, for wires and electricity and such. Burke has been studying elemental magic and the elements in general more, just as a way to kind of figure out how to splice these two things together. And he has, as a result, picked up a level of druid. And he is basically looking for that, and then also just kind of trying to like spend time with Hefty, right? Like Hefty is a growing boy and he's little and precious, even though he's large and precious. And he's in a weird, unfamiliar place, and only Burke is here. And this is the longest they've been away from the farm, and he just wants him to feel at home.
Sure. So I'm going to start off with an odd check. I need you to make a nature check, but instead of using intelligence, I want you to use wisdom.
Okay, that actually works out better for me.
I know it does, and there are, while it is beneficial towards you, there is reasons why, because you're not looking for just any old thing. You're looking for something specific. So your intuition is going to come into it.
I got a natural 20 plus 3 for 23.
Nice.
Yeah. Watch me use my good rolls now, because I'm using D&D Beyond dice.
So with a 23, you have been given clear instructions as to the type of plant that you're really looking for. So you begin to go out and forage. So give me either survival or nature as you see fit.
I think I prefer survival. And I got an 18 plus 7 for 25.
So without too much work, not only do you find something that you feel will work, it's going to perform well and have some decent quality to it. And there's a fairly decent amount here, and you didn't have to travel far in order to find it.
Awesome. Can I possibly take some of the plant with me, like that I could maybe plant and grow in the village proper?
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and give me another nature check?
Okay.
See how well you do for transplants.
Okay. With intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. 11 plus 1, 12.
12. All right. So you damage some of the roots, but you think that this is a hardy plant and it should survive. But in a worst case scenario, if it doesn't make it, you should be able to come back and get more.
Okay, cool. I'll probably be using Druidcraft to help keep it alive as best I can, and to help it survive the supplanting process.
So you have found out that Isla, the older elf within the town, does have a small garden, and what little bit in the few days that you've been here, that she's been cultivating medicinal herbs.
Okay.
And she is, while she is not the best at it, she has a little bit of an alchemical bent. So she has a setup to try and make healing potions, because there's no cleric here. They don't have a healer, but some potions every now and again can save lives.
Okay. Then if you'll let me, I think maybe I want to adjust a little bit of some of the stuff I'm doing. I think Burke, having learned this, would also spend some time with her and like studying how the potions are made and kind of like how the magic is suffused inside, so that he can then, that would flavor wise manifest how he picked up healing word, because he has healing word now also.
Sure. So like she would definitely go through with you. She would acknowledge your partially elven heritage, and she would speak. Was your mother is an elf?
My father is an elf.
So your father's an elf. So some of the traits that she would exude would very much remind you of him, uh, and take it in a direction that almost gives you a little bit of nostalgia, but homesickness. Uh, yeah. So
Mhm.
you are unbeknownst to yourself, you're cultivating a little bit of a friendship here. Um, but she talks very slow. She's very skilled at the dealing with the garden and mixing the things, not herbs for cooking, but herbs for healing. She knows what she's doing.
Mhm. Yeah. Burke may get on her nerves just a pinch because he's got that. Maybe it's his dwarven side. Maybe it's just Burke's personality
Sure.
constantly like going off in the three different directions at any given time in the conversation.
So she reins you in and does not lose her patience with you. She's been around the block before. Um, so it's a scenario that it makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of adjust. And when she does pull you back, oh sorry, you get back to being focused.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else that you were looking to do? I know that Carlos and
Nope.
Dave, you've got other things as well, but I'm just kind of bouncing around.
Nope, that's fine.
No worries. No worries.
No, just trying to like kind of check in on everybody. Like Burke is very much trying to be like the like person that's trying to make sure everybody keeps their optimism, their spirits up, their hope, that kind of stuff. That's really what he wants to do.
Do you mean within the four of you or within the town?
Specifically within the four of us, but kind of in the town in general. Like he's having a very good time here, actually. So he's trying to like make people not feel bad they're here.
Right. Well, you run into a a tiefling who has kind of been here for a while and hasn't really figured out what her stay is. She has literally talked about spending a week here, spending a week there, trying to apprentice under people. Um so after you have an interaction with this tiefling, go ahead and give me insight or wisdom if you don't have.
Insight. I don't have insight, but 11 plus 3, 14.
All right. So you have some conversations with her, and while she doesn't really have skills, like she was somebody that just wound up working um at the TV station and has no recollection as to what happened. Like she was working a regular shift, and the next thing you know, she's here. Um, but she's got a great personality. And after a little bit of a conversation, you realize that like she kind of has a little bit of the same thoughts, but didn't know how to direct it. So she encouraged by your idea says like, I know it's a nasty place, but do you think like we could set up some kind of like stage or some way to like entertain ourselves?
I imagine that would be relatively easy. It's mostly just a big board on smaller boards, right?
And I never made one, but I think people need like don't we need stuff to like to do that's not just farm and kill and build?
I think we do. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Who's good at carpentry around here?
I mean, there's a Goliath. I mean, he's good with stone and metal, but Gavin Stoneheart, uh, he's kind of been our bit of our builder. Um, don't really I mean, there's other people that help, but they don't really know as much as he does.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go talk to this Gavin Stoneheart fellow.
All right, so with that, we'll pass on over to Nebula. Burke has provided you with some very interesting plants. They don't exactly smell great, but you feel that they're going to serve your purposes quite well.
Fantastic. Well then in that case, that's what I'm doing is those purposes. I am attempting to make a science experiment light bulb without like having a light bulb that I can just grab out of the drawer.
All right, so let's go ahead and give me a tech check here, and see what you're able to produce.
23.
23. So you confidently are able to assemble this plant potato-based light bulb idea, and you feel with enough supplies you could probably get this up and moving. uh, with with that kind of check, you over time, or with the right magic, you might be able to cultivate something that you can get this to kind of grow naturally. But that that would take a bit. You'd have to like get the plant and coax it in the right direction to produce high enough lights to basically, grow, uh, the street lights. But it's an idea of something. If you're going to be here for a long time, it might be something to worth considering.
I even have something that I can toss to them as something to let me do as a day job of sorts while I'm tinkering with this all day.
Sure.
So perfect.
Is there anything else that Nebula is looking to do with this?
No, I think that Nebula is pretty laser focused right now.
All right, so give me one more check to just uh basically look at what is your week's progress of hyper focusing on producing light.
We get a point of inspiration. I am that invested. I didn't even roll poorly. I just think I can do better. Okay, 22.
Wow.
It's like, no, screw whatever happens later. I'm doing this now. All right,
Okay,
with a
I am
20.
going with what Nebula cares about.
Sure. So I have no problems, and I'm not judging you on the use of your inspiration. It is yours to do with as you will. Um, so a 22. So you have 7 areas that you can put essentially the light spell. With that 22, I'm going to give you anyone who has the ability to manipulate magic.
Oh.
Now, i.e., can cast a cantrip, uh, can basically touch this thing and turn it off and on. I'm going to throw you a bone and also say that you have a portable one as well.
Ooh,
So it can be moved around
like a flashlight.
like a flashlight. Yep.
Oh, I am so excited to present this to like the elders or whatever it is we have here.
So that the dude who considers himself in charge uh, is the Minotaur Aramax.
So is there like a special time that we're supposed to like show them what we're planning on doing, or do we just like start doing it? Like, do I get to
Nah,
peacock about this at all?
if you want to go locate him or somebody else and show off, then by all means, at the end of this week, or heck, midway through the week when you make the portable one, you can do it as you see fit. But it is entirely up to you. As long as you're not like, oh, I'm gonna lay about and do nothing and then eat your food. People don't usually complain if you look like you're actively doing something. then people don't seem to get all up in your space about it.
Okay, that's fair. In that case, then what I will end up doing is bringing some of these light fixtures that I've made to places that need light at night and
Mhm.
showing them how to use them and just like sort of integrating that way. And that is what I spend the week doing.
Cool. All right. Carlos, Dave, which one of you wants to take it?
Dave can have it.
All right, Dave, I know you were talking about heading out and doing something specific. Were you requesting anyone to travel with you? Were you looking to see if you could persuade members of, the hunting party to head in that direction?
Oh yeah, that was
Or
my
were you
plan. I wasn't going to do that on my own.
uh so who are you trying to talk to?
Whole group. I was like, we need to check out the mountains. I think that's where everything's hidden.
Okay, so you wanna wait till everybody's done their tasks and head that direction
At the
with
end of
the
the
with
week,
the
yeah.
yeah, okay. Uh
I mean, in the meantime, I'm probably going to harass Burke because I think he's the most proficient when it comes to nature shit to go get these herbs and spices transplanted.
all right, so Burke, would you be willing to assist in that direction?
Yeah, I would. Especially it will give me a chance to kind of practice and develop my druid craft cantrip.
Now, would you or would you not consult Isla about this?
Oh, absolutely, he would. Absolutely.
All right, so why don't either of you decide to give me a persuasion check on Isla?
Mine is +0. I am not charismatic.
Oh, okay. Who's Isla again? What does she do?
Isla is the herbalist and apothecary who basically manages the garden here in town. Uh, there's it's not really like a garden of fruits and vegetables. It's mostly herbs that she uses to make some small potions. Um, but there is enough space there that it could be cultivated to grow other things.
So I am also not good at persuasion, but also I might mildly have a grudge against her for not keeping anything good in her herb garden. And after checking out her herb garden, I might actually blame her for my bad meal.
Wow.
All right. So, is somebody making a roll, or you're just like, nope, we're not bringing her?
I will make the roll, but I want to kind of
You're flavoring it that if you fail, this is why. All right, let's see what you got.
all right. So Isla, me and Burke are going to head out into the woods. I found some spots where there's actually some good herbs and spices for something useful. We're gonna go. I'm gonna get Burke to try and transplant. And he said that you're really good with growing herbs and tending them and stuff, and that we should have you come along and supervise us. I mean, we can grub in the dirt. That's not a problem. I don't mind getting my hand. All great chefs do the work themselves as much as possible. You always have to test everything first. But I need someone to make sure the stuff that I think I found is what we think it is. It's not poison. I'm not an herbalist. I don't make potions. I make exquisite meals. I have a 16.
All right. Well, I mean that sounded like a good solid 16. So you guys are able to get this arranged, and even use the cart that sometimes is used to haul back meat en masse. And
We could either
not
hook
even
up.
gonna
We could either hook up the cart to Hefty or to Arnold.
Arnold.
Hey,
I got a plan, right? I have a little bit of his moonshine, and I can get a stick and a string.
All you have to do is ask. I mean,
Give me the alcohol. So
you
no check needed with Isla and Burke there. You're able to, transplant, quite safely, these variety of herbs and spices that are growing naturally or wildly out here. Um, well, they have a good quality and a good flavor to them, so it's gonna help out a lot of your cooking here in town. So, is there anything else somebody wanted to do over the course of this week before the 7 days have passed?
The only thing I do say is like when whatever ingredients I use for the moonshine and as Enzo sees fit or whatever, I totally didn't ask you to go first day because I totally forgot to prepare my spells for the day and I was leveling up, so that totally was not happening in the background. But I do ritually cast purify food and drink um, for whatever sorts of things you need me to, wash your food type deal.
It is purified. All right, so Burke, as you are consulted about this interesting fruit, uh, go ahead and give me a nature check, please.
Okay, nature. I have a +1 for a natural 1 + 1, 2.
It's perfectly safe.
Cool. I will eat some.
Give me a you know what? Yeah, give me a Constitution saving throw. Let me know what you get.
Okay. Do dwarves have advantage on that like dwarves?
It's been a long time. I would say look at your character sheet.
I don't see it, so I'm gonna assume no. I got a
Alright.
12 + 2 for 14.
All right. You feel a little weird, but you're all right.
I feel a little weird, but I'm all right.
Well, it's definitely not poison or filled with disease. It probably just doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I have a food sensitivity or an allergy or something.
Yeah.
You could test it on the halfling.
Mm-hmm.
She's really fast. She's probably has super high metabolism, so whatever. If it's bad, she'll burn through it fast. This is my hypothesis.
Hmm.
So let's get a cooking utensils roll there, Arnold, and see, or your brewer supplies, not cooking utensils, brewer supplies, and see how good a shine you make with this.
Yeah, for tools, it's just my D20 plus proficiency, right?
Let's go with intelligence for this one.
Yeah. My damn thing loads up. Okay, 18.
18. So you have your stills set up correctly, and I honestly don't know how long it takes to run a still. I think it takes time, but it's all set up and cooking as it's supposed to do.
Cooking is definitely the right term for brewing. Moonshine, yes. We are not makers of moonshine at IRL, folks. But
I think that would be the appropriate terminology if you're making, but maybe not so much for moonshine.
it's definitely brewing, I believe.
Gotta be fermenting. You're fermenting.
Fermenting, probably, yeah.
All right. Well, a quick Google search tells me 7 to 10 days on average. So
A week.
at
At the end of this week, we could party.
the end of this week, you have a batch of this, shall we say, weird fruit shine. You don't know exactly what it is, um, but it tastes pretty decent. Eating the fruit by itself, it's got a little bit of bitter,
Mm.
which you add some extra sweet ingredients to kind of counteract the bitterness, and it comes out really good.
Alrighty. Alrighty. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I said, just about getting the right ingredients together. I mean, hell, If we need to go sober a few days, that's fine. Sometimes that's the way of outcasts.
Cast off.
Cast off, excuse me.
It's really annoying, and for those of you who might be aware, like Outcast is a city in our campaign world that is in the underground, in the beneath, in the underdark. So for Dave and I, it's like very easy to think Outcast. I came up with the name of this place for a specific reason without really thinking about this other town, and now it's like, so ingrained and not always correct. So everybody has done their accomplishments. 7 days. The town is now partially lit up. The town has seen a rise in the quality of food that is provided. There's even now whispers of some, talk of possible merriment within the town. Calls to action to find out, who wants to actually get up on stage and share a tale or a song or a skit. But 7 days pass, and the four of you are seated at dinner one night. Seems like it's been quite a while since you've all been together. What do you discuss?
Hey, so you guys want to go check out the mountains?
That could be very fun.
It'll be like the old days when we used to go and delve the dungeon on that show we were on so long ago.
Have I heard anything about the mountains since my time here?
Everyone dies.
Yes. Everyone who goes to the mountains dies. No one who has attempted to no one who has made it to the mountains has ever come back.
Hey,
some
story.
Some have approached, but none have set foot on the mountain and returned.
So I tell them, hey, funny story. Anyone who has gone towards, set foot on mountain, if they ever have, has literally never, ever come back and are assumed absolutely dead.
I have a working theory. I heard that from the Minotaur guy who's got the big horns.
Iramax.
Big beefy bro. Closest thing to a cow I've seen since I've been here. Oh, never mind. Listen, I'm thinking, right? My theory is that's because they got out. Go through the mountains.
That would make sense.
Or they died. But it's 50-50 shot, I suppose.
So, are you guys trying to keep this hush hush, or are you just talking normally?
I would talk normally.
Well, here's my concern. If we go to the mountains and they want people to think that the mountains are dangerous, and this is also a show, or else Tabitha or not Tabitha that looks like Tabitha is spying on us, then she may try to ambush us or otherwise cause us harm when we go to the mountains.
So it's probably in that case, it's probably definitely a trap. But is it really a trap if we know about it being a trap? So maybe we're actually the ones setting the trap.
But if you put your hand in a bear trap and it clamps on your hand, how is that advantageous?
Who would do that?
I mean, it's a similar principle.
I'm not so sure. What do you think, Nebula?
I think that if they have set that up to be the big dangerous place, that there is probably a really good reason for that. And the only mistake that we'd be making is if we were going there sooner than they wanted us to. Or we just go and see what's there. And if it's over our heads, we come back.
That's true. We could do that. And then we would have reconnaissance about what's out there.
And we'd be more prepared and we could prepare farther.
Literally,
Yeah.
he's and again, I'm just playing my character. Arnold just says, no. The thing is, no one has ever come back. That's the thing.
You hear a very soft voice behind you as all of this is happening. If you are going to try this, I think there's someone that you should speak with first. And whoever looks in the direction that this voice is coming from sees a very stoic looking drow. She's dressed in studded leather. Arnold would know, straight up. This is the captain of the Stalkers, the group that go out to kill monsters.
I've been trying out for them for years, and I still haven't gotten in.
Right. Saranza Shadowclaw.
Was Saranza, was she one of the contestants? Solving?
You would be able to learn that she was actually a consultant, not actually a performer.
I would actually, by learning, I would have leaned into Burke and been like, "Yo, was she on the show?"
No, but I think her name's in the credits.
So she
She's
never
like
actually won. She was never actually a winner.
No, she's like she like helps design the dungeons and such.
That we beat.
Yeah.
So who should we talk to?
So there are those here that feel that Aromac was the first, but there is one that is not always here within town that could have possibly come before our leader. Thorn Ironbark tends to dwell within the forest.
Is he a Trent? Sounds like a Trent.
Yes.
Hey.
He's a Trent.
Fucking A, I knew it. Yo, Burke.
Yeah.
This will probably help with your newly found druiding.
Oh, that would be great.
This could be like a spiritual quest for you.
Yeah. That would be really exciting. I would love to meet another person who does druid magic, because for me, it's a lot of just like paying attention to nature, but there's got to be more to it, right? Like, aren't there circles of people and stuff?
Are you asking me, or she points to points to Enzo?
Oh, I'm absolutely asking Enzo, because Enzo is very world wise.
I don't know, but this does remind me. I've been meaning to work on a vegan.
That sounds great.
It does, but I don't think we should mention it when we go meet
Thorn.
Ironsides?
Ironbark.
Ironbark.
Ironsides.
I have Vikings on my mind.
This is not Bjorn.
But yeah, let's not talk about the vegan menu in front of the.
Why not?
I don't think he'll mind.
He's a freaking tree, dude.
Right.
Are you
but you're
are you
made of
planning
meat.
to-
You eat meat.
Yeah.
Are you planning to try and eat the Trent?
No, but like it might
Then
be.
I don't.
It's like offering him. It'd be like if we were to offer him a vegan dish, it'd be like offering him a cousin or something.
Not unless
Maybe.
you made it out of wood.
But anyway, where can we find this Thorn fellow?
So if you head into the forest west of town, you're going to basically look for a remarkable tree. You make some kind of comment of positivity, you should respond.
Remarkable in what way? All trees are remarkable.
It's hard to miss. He will stand out.
And then Bark will lean over to Enzo and be like, I really don't think she's very familiar with trees. All trees stand up.
He said stand out.
And out.
Oh,
It is a truly magnificent spectacle.
this sounds very exciting.
Oh, let us head in that direction and see what we can do.
Nebula, Arnold, are you guys okay with this?
I suppose.
Not sure why I wouldn't be.
Okay.
Long as I take some of my, I carry like whatever moonshine I can in a flask. If Arnold finds himself on a deathbed when he's out there, he'd be like, "Screw it, one last time, buddy. Pour one up for the homies. Pour one up for Tully."
So you make your way out of town, and you follow the directions that Saranza has offered up to you, and you step into the forest. And give me a perception or insight. Your pick.
Well, I think I prefer perception.
Sure.
5 + 3, 8.
All right. You can't quite pin it down, but something feels not normal when you kind of step into the tree line. You come off the path, and you're having a hard time placing whatever this feeling is.
Does anyone else feel that odd sensation?
Like we're being watched?
Like you're playing that video game Monster in Your Pocket and you step into the tall grass.
Hmm.
You
guys continue on?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a weird feeling. Let's see. What options do we have?
Perception, insight.
We already know we're being watched.
I don't know. Nebula, you have any magic that can this out maybe?
Hold on, I'm making a perception check. 25.
Oh.
All right. So number one, you'll absolutely notice the faint shimmer of one of these drones that's not fully invisible, but close to, kind of watching off in the distance. Clearly pointed in your direction. And while that does, make you a little unease, the sensation that you're feeling is odd, because you somehow feel safe for the moment. You feel, as you stepped into this grove of trees, that there's a relax in the tension that you're typically holding since you've come here, and you didn't even realize that you've done it, because you've just been so used to basically living on edge.
I am immediately suspicious of this and inform the others.
I hand out treats to everyone because since starting to this feeling of nervousness and all that, it's like a treat snack might go a long way to calm.
No, it's
That's a
the
very good
opposite.
idea.
You've been living on edge for a week.
Oh, and now I feel
And-
so this odd feeling we needed to go away. Eat one of these. Listen.
I feel safe. Maybe I should eat something.
I mean, in all fairness, if you have ever struggled with anxiety, when you're having a really good, like arguably perfect day, that's when you are most on edge because you know something's going to go wrong.
Sure.
You know, your mind just sparkling with imaginary danger.
Been there.
But either way, I'm going to eat one and hand one out to everybody else.
All right. So you hand
The
out
two
your
will eat
treats.
one.
Mm-hmm. What happens when we eat them? Don't you have like a mechanical thing?
Yeah, you get
Temporary hit
temporary hit
points.
points.
Oh, I was about to
Ooh.
say, man, like, okay, I'm like, oh, I ate it. What happened?
What do we get?
I think I want to say it is efficiency bonus 4. I have to double check though.
All right, so while you're looking that up, you step into this, grove of trees, and as you get about 10, 20 foot in, it's easy to see that the center of this area is a truly magnificent tree. The leaves are vibrant in a variety of shades of green, even crossing through into some lighter blues, or green blues, if you will. But other than that aspect, it appears to be a truly magnificent tree. It doesn't look like a person.
Mm.
You all get 4 temporary hit points if you eat it.
I'll take 4.
Oh,
You know, this place.
Ted, you went silent.
can you hear me there?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
I just saw your lips moving and those sounds coming out. I'm like,
Oh. I don't know what happened. I apologize.
You're fine.
You know, this place being peaceful and calm and having all this ambient nature around it, it reminds me a lot of a time I went to visit my elvish grandmother, who really looks quite fantastic for her age, mind you. But she lived over a river and through a woods like this, and her house was just there.
Don't
don't
you live in the country anyway, Burke?
Oh yes, we live in the country, but my grandmother lives in this enchanted forest.
Oh, well, I guess that's different.
Yeah. I don't know, Ted. I'm just curious, just because I guess I feel like Burke might drop like a name or something. Is there like a elvish or some such deity of nature that is often revered in the setting?
So I tend to work with our own set of gods. So Eleven would be the typical elven deity.
Okay.
If you wanted to go like super into like Sylvan and Fae, it would be Belize.
She's
But if you're
also more
looking for-
naturey.
What was that?
She's more naturey than Eleven.
Yeah,
Eleven's
so if-
more of
so if
a
you're
ultimate good god.
Yes, Eleven would be like the standard elven deity, but if you want to lean into nature, Fae, beauty, like the Sylvan aspect, it would be Belize.
Okay. So he'll just like mention that his grandmother had like a little shrine set up for Belize, and she would, just go out and I don't know what are the religious rituals. I'm just making stuff up unless you tell me something otherwise. Like going out gathering flowers,
right,
putting them on the shrine.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you give me a hot moment. see here.
I like weird world building stuff.
Sure. I've done a crap ton of work on our deities. So the typical worship and rituals is Dawn's Embrace and Moonlight Revelry. So I'm gonna drop both of those in the chat for you here. But I mean anything that is going to speak to beauty, growing flowers, placing flowers, would certainly speak to her.
Yeah, okay. So Burke will just kind of like talk about this and talk about how my grandma, whenever we would stay with her, she would get all of us up before sunrise. And it was really quite unpleasant at first, even for us. And we get up early on the farm, but we would get up before dawn and then we would go out and we'd release a box of butterflies in the morning. And then she would get us up again in the middle of the night. And we would go out and we would have a bonfire and we would tell stories, and she would tell us about all sorts of ancient fey creatures that were said to live just beyond the veil. It was very nice. And he's just gonna like reminisce and kind of pat the tree. Like, this is a good tree.
Well, little dwell, your grandmother is probably used to not needing to deal with those that actually sleep.
Oh my. Did the tree talk?
And-
or am I speaking with
and-
plants right now?
Yes, little one, that was me. And you can see a face kind of forming amidst the knots and twists of the branches.
Oh, are you Thorn Ironbark?
I am indeed.
You have very good bark. And he just like pats again.
So I see we have some new friends here. How did you all get trapped?
Oh, winning a game show, then discovering the village. And then we were told by Saranza that you were out here and we should speak with you before we go to the mountains. I'm Burke, by the way. This is Hefty. These are our friends, Nebula and Arnold and Enzo. And those two robot things near Nebula are Freddy and what's the other one?
David?
I'm trying to remember.
David.
Isn't it David?
It is David. It's David Bowie and Freddie
I was
Mercury.
about to say, it's like, that's what I'm about to say.
One of the branches begins to like shift and move, and if no one stops him, the tree will kind of pet Burke.
So were you the first one to arrive here?
Well, I believe that I am the anchor point for this place.
Oh. So you're part of the trap?
I am, how shall I say this? Against my will?
Oh, you're trapped. Like us.
Like everyone.
You know who trapped you here?
I did not see their face, nor their form. Are the lot of you magically inclined?
Those two are. They're very magically inclined.
Nebula is really the best out of all of us.
I
And
mean,
he'll just kind of like shove Nebula forward.
Stumbles just a little bit. Hi.
Have you heard of magical staves?
Yeah.
There's those that are, shall we say, commonplace, and some that are well beyond that. Yes.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Have you ever heard of a device called a staff of the woodlands?
I can't say that I've heard of that one in particular, but I can't imagine it would take very long to explain.
Well, it is a staff typically used by those who prefer the forests over the cities. Beyond granting numerous spells, some of them can be planted into the ground and call forth beings such as I. Well, I am such a staff, but a powerful one. If I desire, I can get up and move this grove. I've spent some time within the city, but the hustle and the bustle of you folk is a bit much for one who typically just likes nature. Before I was here, I was just a staff, though a staff of much significance. And then something happened, and this place was created, and I can no longer be a staff.
Hmm.
So, what happens to this place and everything in it if something happens to the anchor point?
I could not tell you.
Hmm.
What do you think, Nebula? Do
Is
you have a magical theory?
so I either roll me Arcana or Tech. I assume you're going to roll Tech.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna roll tech. It's 2 points higher.
Could I give her
No.
advantage, or could I give Nebula advantage with Arcana because I'm trained in Arcana?
Sure, I'll allow that.
Okay,
Okay.
so maybe like offering Nebula advice for the Arcana check, like in the Arcana
16
elements of
in
it.
that case.
All right. So the 16, you've got some theories. You don't have, you haven't really put your brain to work here to know exactly, and you don't have what is this place to know exactly what the construct is. So, one, it's going to get shunted into a demiplane. If its power source isn't there, the plane in this world could easily try to latch on to something else. Scarily, it could also just completely stop existing along with everything in it.
So I am going to
It
deadpan all of that like I am dead inside. Like the way that you deadpan something at like yeah, no, I'm just this is
Sure.
the reality. I acknowledge this reality, but I am also kind of 10 feet behind myself.
The other option is, with the place not existing, it dumps everything out. It could dump it out into wherever the anchor point was and everything's safe. Or just as easily, everything could just be dumped into the void, could be dumped into the ethereal plane, wherever the magic essence is attached to.
Hmm.
So lots of speculations, lots of things that could be, might be's. You need more information to find that out.
Um, I am trained in Arcana or Arcana, so I guess I have a question. Would I know about the banishment spell?
What is your total plus in Arcana?
+5?
+5? Give me a check.
Okay. Oh, I got a 4. I'm gonna use my inspiration. I feel like this deserves it. Oh, then the second roll's a 2. So I'll take my 4 +5 for 9.
Yeah. Now, off the top of your head, it's not really coming to you.
So are we in another dimension right now? I kind of just thought we got teleported to a simulation dome or something.
Are you asking him or each other?
Burke is more just putting it out there for anyone to answer, honestly.
Well, I am not one who knows of the current magics of your world. Could not tell you what all of this is beyond a prison.
Hmm.
Small group of you here have explored much of this place. On certain edges, you can keep walking and yet never really get further away. Other areas, there is a barrier. You can't see it. It appears that there is more beyond, yet when you place your hand upon it, it is solid. And then there is the mountains.
Arnold seems to think they'll kill us.
The mountains seems to resonate as if there is something inside. I am not certain what it is, but as mighty a tree as I am, I question whether there is anything but death in that place. Those few who have come to talk to me have shared their feelings of unease, of fear in just the approach. Some have heard cries of some terrible thing on the winds.
So, what insight do you have about the mountains beyond that? Because Saranza specifically said we should come talk to you before we go to the mountains.
So there is power there. There is something within that is more powerful than I. And I don't know exactly what she thought I would know, but
Snap of the Magi.
I warn you that approaching that place without caution is not wise.
So can you turn back into a staff?
No, I cannot.
Is there something you need here?
In regards to what?
I don't know, just something to make your time here more pleasant. We were going to have a talent show in the village.
That would be interesting to watch. Perhaps I should. And you watch as the tree shifts a little bit and the ground begins to shake as you see like the roots kind of beginning to pull themselves up. And it will take me some time to get there. But perhaps I will come watch.
Well, then you'll need some snacks for the road. And Burke will cast Goodberry, and I will give Thorn 10 good berries.
Oh, that is very kind. And a branch will kind of come down, and the smaller branches will kind of like twirl together and like almost make like a cupped hand for you to put them in.
He'll just like set them in there.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Are you saying we shouldn't go to the mountains because it seems like that's the worst place here, and to me that seems like the
I can't tell you what to do, but I urge caution. You head that way, it could mean the end.
well, from what I understand, you head in any direction in this. You might as well find the end with a purpose.
That is one way to look at it. And if you are unsuccessful, then perhaps you will help something else to grow in your stead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you prefer being as you are now to being a staff?
When I was a staff, some time ago, and you get the sensation like there's some reminiscing going on. I had someone who cared for me. There are those who treat possessions as mere tools, and those who truly treat them as companions or equals. And I was treated as the latter.
What do you remember about this person?
About my possessor or the person who came for me?
Or possessor?
Well, they traveled the woods, dressed in green like the leaves, cared for the animals and the land. And as with all things, they eventually moved on from this life. And they had gotten so used to being in the wilds that they never bonded with anyone else. There were no others to pass me along to. So once they were gone, I was left alone. And some time passed without my ability to become more. I thought someone will eventually come, and a new equal will appear. And the presence that took me was not of a match. It could not use my power. And so I wound up here.
That at least answers one question.
Hmm.
I hope it answers. All right. Nebula, Arnold,
Yes.
Burke.
Hmm. But he said we would surely die if we go in the mountains.
That's not exactly what he said. That's what Arnold said.
That's not what I
He's-
said. That's what other people said.
He said we best be ready because it's really dangerous and we may become food for something else.
Hmm.
But if we stay here, I don't think we're going to accomplish anything. I mean, I don't think there's enough potatoes in this whole world to power whatever Nebula's trying to do to get us back. Happen to what's going on.
Hmm.
Maybe if we captured that dragon thing with the lightning, that would have been enough power. I think it's a little bit late now.
Yeah.
All
Do
right.
you? Oh,
Just gonna say, next lightning monster we encounter, we capture it. Figure out how to make it lightning into Nebula's contraptions.
hmm.
Was
Bert
that
will
the
look up
last monster
to.
we fought, or was that a different show?
What was that?
Was that the last monster we fought, a lightning thing, or was that something
There was
you guys did?
It was a Behir that was the center of a chimera.
I just remember it being Chimera. I wasn't sure what was in there.
Oh, maybe it's got babies somewhere. They'd probably be easier to catch.
That's true. And those
That
things
will
like the
also really
mountains.
make Mama very angry.
Mama's dead.
Oh
Mama.
no.
Like, that
Why
could've-
would you put that in my head? Let's start looking for a nest immediately.
Never mind. Maybe the dad is dead. It served its purpose. The babies are here.
I am pretty sure somebody just let that thing in through a cage in a hole in the wall somewhere.
Well, I mean, like we thoroughly dissected it. Or at least Enzo did. By any chance did he find out? Hey, it's a male or
Yeah.
a female? I mean,
I mean,
Was there extra
don't
meat or
think-
not?
I don't believe that question was asked then, and it's that's over a week ago. Sorry, it's too late to ask.
intelligence check.
So, all right, let's vote. Arnold, do we go to the mountains?
I will be alive, I said. Being here, I wasn't curious.
Nebula, mountains.
Mountains.
Burke, mountains.
I suppose I mean, if we're going to go eventually, we might as well go together and not waste time.
I'll drop down the one, squat down in front of Hefty. Hefty, do you want to go to the mountains, boy?
And he will drool.
Well, I think
Oh,
it's
come on. He's doing the whole hefty dance. He's sitting there with the front paws up and down.
Yeah, he probably licks Enzo because Enzo usually tastes good.
So I think it's unanimous. I mean, either sit on our hands or go try and do something.
Yeah.
I am always in favor of do something.
And maybe we'll find baby chimeras on the way.
I really hope not.
They have lightning breath. They can power all your things.
That's child labor.
Or
I
it
don't
could
see
be
it.
a game.
It might be, but I don't see a government body here
I don't
anywhere,
see
so
it
there are
with
no
extra
rules.
steps.
Don't you know how Robin feels about that, Dave? Do we need a yellow card there, Robin? Are we good?
No, I'm fine. I'm joking.
All right. So do you guys head off in that direction?
Before we do, Burke wants to ask Thorne's permission to do one more thing. He wants to alter a tree.
To what end?
He is going to make a little alcove in a tree with a combination of I have produced flame, druid craft, and control flames.
Okay.
And I can speak with plants. He wants to make like a little alcove and basically make like a mini shrine, like what his grandma used to have for Belize. And then he wants to make this for not just Thorn, but anyone who comes here and kind of say, I mean, there's got to be some power that can beat this place, right? And he just wants to like leave it there so that Thorn has hope.
Well, I like the idea of offering up a shrine. Burning into a tree is probably not the best way to do it.
Well, I have a knife too, but I was trying to figure out like how he would go about doing this basically magically.
Would I be able to offer an alternative that won't, I don't want to say friend, but won't damage the trees?
Sure.
So what tree do you wish this little area to be?
Just one near Thorn.
So he slowly moves in that direction. This guy is not super quick. And one of his smaller branches that don't have quite so many leaves on it, he goes over and he kind of pulls one of the branches down this way and pulls a branch this way. And as he begins to kind of sway and move, it takes a little bit of time. But as he's moving these branches, you watch as like the parts of the tree, it's not just moving the branch out of the way and letting it snap back next to the trunk of the tree. You can see that the branch is adjusting, and right at your eye level, he's coaxing these branches to make like a little like knotted root opening about a foot to 18 inches across. And as the branches twist and twist and twist and twist, you've got this circular cylinder of space to do with as you will.
Okay. So yeah, he'll just kind of set all of that up and tell Thorn what it is, and I don't know. He just wants to like make him feel good and make him feel like he has something to do and something to look forward to.
And as all of this happens, a butterfly just kind of flies by, lands on the little alcove, then lands on your shoulder, and then flies away.
Okay, now we can go to the Death Mountains.
To the Death Mountains.
All right.
Take up the rear.
So who's in front? I mean, it's not like, not like it's hard to see the mountains. They are all encompassing in the distance.
I'll go first.
So you exit the grove, and that sensation of being on edge kind of like quickly returns, and it's now that you guys know what it is, it's palpable. And it's a little alarming to go from at ease to just hyper focused again. And you hear the slow movement of the tree heading in the direction that you guys are, but quite a ways off at this point in time. And what is going through your heads as you begin your march towards the mountains?
Why did I agree to this?
We're on a really grand adventure, just like the Dungeoneer. He's just fanboying.
You haven't made that reference in a while.
Nope, haven't. I was waiting for a good moment to bring it out.
I think you
Sure.
did.
How about you, Robin? What's going through Nebula's head?
That if there's gonna be information, it's gonna be in the most heavily protected place, and she is like eyes on the prize right now.
Thinking about my vegan menu.
So, Robin, Nebula, you don't know where it's coming from, but you hear a voice. And at first, you're not getting words, but emotions. They're pleading, they need help. And then the words actually come in, and it's Tabitha.
Hello?
I'm stuck. How do I get out of here?
Where are you stuck? Tell me what you can.
I can't see anything.
What do you hear?
It's like a humming sound.
What do you smell?
Earth.
And what can you feel?
I can't feel anything.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
And as abruptly as the presence appeared, you feel the connection cut. And it coincides with, yet again, that line of light that you saw last week appear, and you watch as the surroundings around the four of you fall away. Each of you finds yourself at a little named placard. Nebula, Enzo, Burke, Arnold, in front of a brightly lit, brightly colored setup. You see a variety of ridiculous props and things. There's even illusory like fans like in a stadium, and you can see that they're illusory because they're see-through, and they're like clapping and laughing and what have you as as you're, kind of referring to her as mock Tabitha or fake Tabitha, appears. And as she does so, she waves her sword, and in electric lights, a name appears, and she says, "Welcome to Double Scare. Are you ready for your first event?" What do you guys do?
Let's go.
Wow. Well, at least Nebula's ready.
Nebula is like pissed. She's like neon plus pissed right now.
For some reason, I thought it was gonna be whose turn is it anyway, but
That's very funny. Write that down.
All right, I will write that one down. No guarantee I will use it, but
I just love double scare. Is there like slime somewhere?
oh,
You'll
don't
find
worry.
out soon enough.
the moment you said there are props, I'm thinking that prop game from Whose Line Is It Anyway, you know?
No, sure. All right, so let's go
I
back
think you're
up to
actually making a
here.
reference, Ted, that like most people are too
I
young to get.
I don't care whether people understand, my nerdy references or whatnot. If you guys are getting it, I'm golden. If not, guys, go ahead and look up Double Dare. That's where this one comes from.
All the young bucks in the audience.
Hey, whatever. So come forward, and you're led to basically this foot tall but long, it's a foot tall but it's 120 feet long track that is covered in all kinds of goo and ooze. It's like, well, you guys have to get through the whole show in order to make it out of this place. But tonight there's a twist. And they gesture back towards, your individual podiums with the name placards. And below your names, there is a score. And right now everybody is at 00. For our first event, the Oozecapades, all you have to do is just get across. And it'll be 50 points for the first one to cross the finish line, 30 points for second, 10 points for third place. And whoever finishes last, well, you'll just have to be the 0 that matches your score.
How far is it?
120 feet. And I know what you're thinking there, Nebula. No tricks, no ways, but pure effort once you step in the ooze.
That hasn't actually forbidden me from doing magic. He didn't say magic. Like it is effort. It takes effort to learn to do that, the same as it does to learn to jump really far. Like what you're saying isn't actually banning me from doing anything.
Well, I won't, but the ooze will.
Speaking of which, do we have like a moment before we participate in this thing, or it's just like initiative time, go y'all? Or
it's basically initiative.
I do have one other question. Is Hefty a separate contestant from Burke, or is Hefty and Burke like one group, or is Hefty not allowed?
Hefty is in his little ball at the moment.
Oh, okay. I guess it's just me then.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. All righty then.
all right.
13.
Oh,
15.
2.
Oh, same 15 as well.
So we have Nebula and Arnold at 15.
I mean, my dex is a
And Enzo.
20. If we're being competitive about this, my dex is a
Ah,
20. And my
sure.
initiative is plus
So
9.
all right, so that's what it was going to be. So all right, so it's going to be Arnold and then Nebula. So Arnold, what do you do?
I cast the jump act. I cast a jump on myself. I am a willing.
So you use your action to cast the spell.
Indeed.
All right, the spell fails.
Oh shit! Okay, well I used the spell slot.
You use a spell slot. Your action is wasted. You have a movement. What would you like to do?
Fuck, I just moved 30 feet up.
All right, so you trudge forward. It takes effort, but nothing that requires a legitimate roll. So you have moved 30 feet forward.
All right. I would like the action surge.
Okay.
Use my action to dash.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw.
Ready? I roll these with advantage. That didn't help. 8.
8. All right. So you get about 10 feet in and you fall prone. You take 9 points of acid damage.
Oh, okay.
You're 40 foot in and prone. Nebula, you're up.
Okay, well, I have Dimension Door, but I caught the request not to make things difficult on you, so I'm going to make an acrobatics check and just sashay like an athlete, if that is cool.
All right, so you're going to use your move to go forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna dance.
All right. You're going to use your action to go forward to dash, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so give me a strength saving throw. As you trudge through more than
2.
30 feet. 2. All right,
Mhm.
so Nebula, you have fallen into the same situation that Arnold is. You are prone, 40 feet in, and you take 4 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Burke, you're up. Unless you've got
Oh.
something else you can do, Nebula.
Oh, you probably don't want me to. Um,
To what? I mean, you can try anything that you want. Not everything
there are
might
2
work.
of us in this slime. I am not casting Fireball directly into it, no matter how much my gremlin brain really wants to. However, I will cure wounds myself. Wait, no, I
Okay.
actioned already. Never mind. I cannot
Yes.
do that. That is not a bonus action. I was looking at the wrong spell. I can, however, healing word. That is what I do. Go.
Okay. You expend your spell slot and it fails.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Burke, you're up.
Is this difficult terrain?
It does not appear to be.
Okay, I guess I will move through it as if it is difficult terrain, but that doesn't cost me any extra movement because I'm a ranger.
Okay.
If these things are plants, that matters. But
It is not a
otherwise,
plant.
I'll just move 70 feet with my
Okay.
dash and my movement because I have
Okay.
35 feet speed.
Sure. So give me a strength saving throw.
Okay. 12.
That is a 12. That is a failure. So you well, because you have a speed of 35, you have moved into first place at 45 feet in before you fall prone and take 8 points of acid damage.
Oh no.
Do you have a bonus action you would like to use?
Hmm. I would like to well this actually causes damage. I don't want to call Hefty into this ooze if it's going to damage him. So no. I don't want to do a bonus action even though I normally could.
Okay. Enzo, you're up.
All right, so I will move, dash. 13 fails, I suppose. I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. A 13 does fail.
Okay. So instead of a 13, let's go with a 23.
23. All right. So you use your action and your movement. Your speed is 30, correct?
It is. Now I action surge to move again.
Okay. Give me another strength saving throw.
That's an 11. I
That
will
is
use
an 11.
Indomitable to re-roll that, though.
Okay.
I was thinking about
30,
should I
20.
30, 20. All right. So you've moved 90 and
nice.
you are
Ooh.
still standing. Bonus action?
Mm, you could throw a knife at one of my friends, but nah.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Well, have we resorted to PvP already?
Huh.
All right,
Well, like,
Arnold.
sweep the leg.
Arnold, you are prone, and
I stand up because I can't win
all right.
by laying on my ass.
Okay, you stood up for use of 15 of your movement. What do you do?
You see. Question.
Yeah.
Don't know. By declaring dash,
Hmm.
I just want to move more. I'm not like sloppily
Yeah.
moving, right?
I understand.
Okay, cool.
So that's what you would like to do?
I would like to use the action dash,
Sure.
not
Give me a strength
necessary
saving
to
throw.
wait. Not necessary to bumble around like an idiot.
I understand what you are trying to do, and you don't
Fine.
understand the mechanics of what is going on here.
Fine, I'll roll your
So
strength save. That's going to be a 17.
that is a 17. So you move forward 45 feet. Half because you stood up and then the full. So you are currently at 95 feet in first place. And you have anything else to do?
Let's see. What spells do I have? Oh, yeah, I forgot that shit's not going to work. What other bonus actions are there? No, I'm good.
Okay, Nebula. You are prone and in the acid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is sure a thing that's happening.
So I assume you use 15 feet of movement to stand up.
I mean, I have to. What else am I gonna do?
Rolled.
All right. Do you use your action to dash? Do you have other things going on?
I mean, yeah, I basically have to if I can't use magic.
All right, let's give that strength saving throw.
Okay. 14.
14. All right, so you have moved another 40 feet before you fall and splash back into the pool of acid for 5. I don't know why those particular dice are rolling much lower than average on your damage. Anything else that you can do?
I mean, I
Okay.
can healing word again.
Burke, you're up.
Okay. Is this slippery acid or sticky acid?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do a weird thing then. Because we love
Okay.
some weird things. I want to use my staff to try to shove off like a rowboat or like a gondola or something and slide.
Okay. So you want to basically just kind of like ride it through?
Yeah, basically, just like you know how like on Double Dare when they would like do like a slip and slide bit where they'd run and just like whoosh and like that's
Okay.
what I want to try to pull.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Okay. 19.
19. So you're gonna get your 30 of movement as you
I have a
slip and
35
slide.
movement.
Sorry, you're gonna get your 35 for this. And then it's going to push you another 15. So you're going to be basically charging right at where Enzo is. So you're at 90, tie for second place at the moment. The problem is you went through all of that acid fully like in it. So
yeah, I'm
you
trying
went-
to slosh it away so my allies don't get hit with it. Because
Sure,
if somebody's
yeah.
going to take it, I'm just going to go for it.
All right, so you're going to take a total of 17 points of acid damage as you go through all of this, and you are still prone in the acid.
Okay, I don't know if I probably don't know this thing about casting spells yet because I didn't necessarily see it. So I'm going to try to cast Absorb Elements with a reaction.
Sure. So just like everybody else, the spell fails, the spell slot is expended.
Okay, and now I know this.
But kudos for not abusing the system.
And then I'm going to try to move, I guess, because I just did an action, right?
Correct.
Okay, then I'll try to move.
All right. So are you going to stand up and then move half your movement?
Am I able to move the same way again, or is that not?
No, that was your action. Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
Then sure, I'll stand up and move.
All right. So half of 35. I guess I'll give you 20. You're 10 foot from the end at 110 feet.
Okay.
Enzo, you're up. You could
All
just
right. I'm just going for it, I guess.
All right. So Enzo crosses the finish line for first place. No check needed because you only moved 30. Arnold.
If I was ahead of Enzo and if he was behind me, I would just proceed 30.
All right, you proceed 30 to cross the 120-foot line. What was it? 30 points for second place.
The only saving grace on that whole thing was I roll strength with advantage. So I'm like, let's just do this shit, whatever.
All right, Nebula, you are 40 points or 40 feet away from the finish line, and it looks like Burke is really close to crossing that line. What are you gonna do?
I just want out. I'm just gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna go ahead and dash. Like, this is gross. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and like turn in my thing and like look at the camera, like, and like in the little cut video, I've still got some like acid in my hair, and I'm just gonna deadpan it was gross. And then like it cuts back to like me trying to get out of the acid. So strength check.
All right, strength check. I mean it's moot, but let's see
10.
if you fall at. So you fall at and across the finish line. So you take 6 points of acid damage as you cross, getting your 10 points for third place, leaving Burke at 0 points, and all to the laughter of Nebula. And as you're goo covered in acid, slightly eating at your clothes and your armor and things, Tabitha laughs, and you kind of make your way back over to the podiums that magically now have your points scrawled upon them, and say, okay, our next game up. And because we're so close, I'm not going to dive into the next part of Double Scare just yet. We'll get to that next time, next week. You're not quite out of Double Scare yet. But hey, we went through 2 episodes of the last challenge, so we'll mix things up and do it this way too. So I know we're a couple minutes early, but thanks out there for watching. Come on back next week for more Dungeons and Delving, and you can get some double action of 5e next week, because next Friday will also be the next episode of the Old Guard. So it's a bit of a twofer. So thanks for watching. Check the links in the description to find all these people wherever you can find them on the internet. And until next time, stay
Stay
nerdy.
nerdy.
Be nerdy.